طيب هي ال 3.1 algebra quiz. uh, it's short, it's easy, it's just كله square roots of perfect square مع بعض completing the square كله it's all the same concept. This one was in the AMS. You x squared equals 144. You square root both sides, becomes x equals plus minus radical 144. Always have that plus minus, yeah? Because radical can either be positive or negative. The answer. Okay, you get 12 and negative 12. They're saying enter the smaller value, فأكيد it's gonna be negative 12. Okay, this one it's give one solution of minus 12 x minus 8 x plus 14 0. Okay, when something equals 0, that means when the answer equals 0, that means one of these are 0. So either minus 12 equals 0, which obviously is wrong, that can't happen, or x minus 8 equals 0, or x plus 14 equals 0. So since this can't happen, minus 12 can't be equal to 0, because minus 12 doesn't equal 0. So since that's wrong, you're left with two solutions. X minus 8 to the right, you get x equals 8. 14 to the right, you get negative 14. So these are your two solutions. They're saying give one root, so you can either put 8 or negative 14. See if you click the other answers, there's also negative 14. Okay, look, this one you can solve with two ways. You can either solve by factoring directly, or you can solve by completing the square. Okay, how do you know which one's which? Whenever you have a minus b and then you square, that means they're telling you complete the square. Or also if you have a plus b, that means they're telling you complete the square. Usually it's a minus b, like here x minus 4. So when they tell you complete the square, you guys know how to complete the square. Yeah, فانت to complete the square, it's the steps in the other video. I'll put the link, like the AMS quiz, I'll put the link in the description. X squared minus 8x minus 33. To complete the square, isolate a and b and factor it out. In this case, there's no coefficient for x squared, so there's nothing you need to factor. Then you add and subtract half of this. You add and subtract the square of the coefficient divided by 2. So it'll be x squared minus 8x plus 8 divided by 2 is 4, so plus 4 squared minus 4 squared. Then you have minus 33 outside. Okay, x squared minus 8x, 4 squared is 16, 4 squared is 16. Outside you have 33. Then these three you can factor them. It will be x minus 4. Just take the square roots. Okay, you're gonna get rid of all of this. You'll be left with minus 16, which you just take out, since there's nothing to multiply by. Minus 16 minus 33 becomes 49. So minus 49 equals 0. They want you to take 49 to the other side, so it becomes positive 49. So if you want to take 49, it becomes x minus 4 squared equals 49. Okay. Then for part B, when they're saying one root, other root, just like this, that means they're telling you to factor. Okay. To factor x squared minus 8x minus 33 equals 0. Everybody has their method. My method is used a lot, and I don't know if for the people in other schools, I don't know if you use this method. But my method is if there's a coefficient here beside x squared, you multiply it by 33. But in this case, there's nothing, so you just factor. So what you do is you take 33 and you see which two numbers, multiply them, you get 33. But since it's a minus here, when you subtract them, you get the middle term. You get 11 and 3, so x minus 11 and x plus 3. This is how you factor. I mean, if you don't know how to factor, it's a bigger problem, to be honest. It's grade 9 stuff. And حتى we did a bit at the start of grade 10. So you'll be left with two solutions, either x minus 11 equals 0 or x plus 3 equals 0. This becomes 11 to the other side, becomes x equals 11, and this becomes x equals negative 3. Okay, they gave you x equals negative 3, so the other solution would be 11. Okay, one root of x plus 2 squared equals 100. This is one root, and they want the other root. X plus 2 squared equals 100. You take the square root on both sides, so it will be x plus 2 square root equals plus minus radical 100. So x plus 2 equals positive radical 100 is positive 10. and then your other solution will be when it's negative, so negative 10. Okay, because you know, positive radical 100, positive 10, negative radical 100, negative 10. Okay, 10 others, sorry, 2 to the other side, you get x equals 8. Okay, and then this one here, 2 to the other side, you get minus 12. Okay, so your two solutions are minus 12, which is given. They want the other solution, which is 8. Okay, here they gave you 4x squared minus 23x plus 28. They want it as two products, so obviously they're telling you to factor. Okay, factor 4x squared minus 23x plus 28. Okay, the way I do is 4 times 28, which is 96. Okay, show 96, my fault, it's not 96, it's 112. Let me just do it on a calculator. 4 times 28, yeah, it's 112. Okay, then you have to see the factors of 112. Which two numbers, when you multiply them, you get 28. Sorry, no, which, my fault. Which two numbers, when you multiply them, you get this 112. But when you, in this case, plus, when you add them, you get the middle number, which is 23. It's gonna be 4, it's gonna be 7, and it's gonna be 16. Okay, because 7 times 16 is 112, and 7 plus 16 is the middle number, which is 23. Okay, and then you just put minus, it becomes 4x minus 7, and here you divide by 4 on both sides, it becomes x minus 4, because you can simplify it, yeah, which is here 4x minus 7, x minus 4. Until now, yani, the only hard part is factoring. They're asking for the roots. One root of 4x squared minus 23x plus 28 is x equals 7 over 4, and the other one, they want the other root. How do you find the roots? You know, this equals to 0. So either 4x minus 7 equals 0, or x minus 4 equals 0. If 4x minus 7 equals 0, 7 to the other side, 4x equals 7. So x equals 7 over 4. Here, 4 to the other side, x equals 4. So you have two solutions, and 7 over 4 and 4. Until now, it's easy. It's nothing too hard. Which of the following is equivalent to x squared minus 8x equals 0? Okay, look, if the choices were numbers, like look, x squared minus 8x equals 0, the first thing somebody would do is just factor x out, you get x minus 8 equals 0, and then you get two solutions, which is x equals 0, x equals 8. See, this is solving, yeah? But if you look at the choices, they're not giving you numbers, they're giving you equations. So, and those equations, they have a minus b squared, yeah? So you have to do, like I told you, if you see a minus b squared, and you have to complete the square. So x squared minus 8x equals 0. Complete the square, you isolate a and b, x squared minus 8x. Divide by 2 and square it. So x squared minus 8x, 8 divided by 2 is 4. Plus and minus the square, so plus 4 squared minus 4 squared. Okay, becomes x squared minus 8x plus 16 minus 16. Factor these three, you get x minus 4 squared. And then you have this minus 16, that's outside, and this all equals to 0. Take 16 to the other side, you get x minus 4 squared equals 16, which is this answer. Okay, which are the factors of 8x squared plus 13x minus 6? And they're telling you factor. They're literally telling you factors. And you build on the factors. To factor 8 times 6, I tell you multiply the first number by the last number, you get 48. Which numbers, when you multiply them, you get 48, but when you subtract them, you get 13. I think it's 16 and 3. Yeah, 16 and 3. So you get 16 and 3. Okay, then the signs, the middle one goes to the bigger number, which is 16. So the other one will be minus here, yeah. Okay, then you can simplify this one by dividing by 8. So it will be x plus 2, and then whole and x 8x minus 3. Okay, which these are your factors, 8x minus 3, x plus 2. That's it here. Okay, which are the smaller root of x squared minus 15 equals 25? X squared minus 15 equals 25. Obviously, take 15 to the other side. You get x squared equals 40. X equals plus minus radical 40. Okay, you can do this in your head, or you can use it on a calculator. Positive radical 40 on a calculator is 2 radical 10. Negative radical 40 is negative 2 radical 10. They want the smaller one, So obviously negative 2 radical term. Okay, which of the following is true about the equation 3x squared plus 16 equals 4? Uh, let's solve it. You take 3x squared, you take 16 to the other side, it becomes minus 16, 4 minus 16, so 3x squared equals 4 minus 16 negative 12. Divide by 3 on both sides, it becomes x squared equals negative 4. Okay, and x equals plus minus radical negative 4. Obviously, it's going to be undefined because you can't find the radical of a negative number, so it has no real roots. X equals 2 is not a solution of the equation, obviously, because we said there's no roots, so it's not a solution. And it is equivalent to x squared equals negative 4. That's correct, because we got it over here, x squared equals negative 4. Because if you take the radical, that's when خلاص, it comes wrong. If you keep it as x squared equals negative 4 as your final answer, then this is correct. Because when you say it's the radical of negative 4, then yeah, your answer becomes imaginary. It's not a real number. So keep your answer as x squared equals negative 4. This is if they give you written for the periodic. يعني if they give you this in the written, keep it like this. وكمان للwritten, and I have a 2.4 recording. I'll post it now. For the written, please make sure to go over the top questions that are in the course revision because they came in the final exam. ف it could come يعني again if it could come again. It was the graphing question. Most people they did bad at it. And I remember it came يعني the exact same questions, but obviously they switch up the numbers. If you have time, do the top questions that are in the course revision document. They might come in the written. This one consider the equation 3x minus 4 squared plus 2 equals 5. Uh, they're saying what are the steps to solve. Okay, so just solve. 3x minus 4 squared plus 2 equals 5. The first thing is take 2 to the other side, so subtract 2. That's the first thing. And simplify. Simplify, يعني I'll show you now what they mean by simplify. 3x minus 4 squared, it becomes 3 because you took 2 to the other side. When you divide by 3, this is called simplification, okay? So simplify. So after dividing by 3, becomes x minus 4 squared equals 1, okay? We said divide by 3 and simplify. X minus 4 squared equals 1. Now you're going to square root. So it's going to be x minus 4 equals plus minus radical 1. So we applied the square root, okay? And now you just solve. X minus 4 equals 1 and x minus 4 equals negative 1. Take 4 to the other side, becomes 5. Take 4 to the other side, it becomes 3. Okay, I think that's what they asked in part B. Yeah. 3 and 5. Those are your two solutions. Yeah. 5 and 3. That's it. Okay, so this question it's not hard, but it's long because the numbers are really tricky to work with. Okay, they gave you the equation. You complete the square. 6x squared minus x minus 5 equals 0. Obviously, isolate a and b and factor out the 6, so it becomes 6x squared minus, since this was 1, you divide by 6, so x over 6, and you have the minus 5 outside equals 0. Okay, continue. You're going to divide by 2 and square, so 6x squared minus x over 6. We're going to do plus, since we're dividing by 2, it becomes now 1 over 12. This is 1 over 6, yeah? 1 over 6x becomes plus 1 over 12 squared minus 1 over 12 squared. Okay, and then you have minus 5 outside equals 0. Now you factor these three, it becomes x minus 1 over 12 squared. You could square it and then find the square root again, but there's no point in doing that. Since 1 over 12 squared and then find the square root when factoring, you're just going to end up with 1 over 12 again. Okay, so you're going to get 6x minus 1 over 12 and then to the power of 2 outside. Now, we want to get rid of this. We have to get rid of this. So you can do it on a calculator. Okay, 6 times negative 1 over 12 squared. So you're going to put on a calculator 6 times minus 1 over 12 squared. You put this on a calculator. And I think you get 6 times negative 1 over 12 squared. you get negative 1 over 24. It's negative 1 over 24. So 6 times minus 1 over 12 squared is negative 1 over 24. So that's what you're taking out. So it's going to be, we had minus 5 out, and now we have negative 1 over 24. Until now, all I did was just complete the square and factor. Okay, now we can simplify it a bit. 6x, 6 into x minus 1 over 12 squared minus 5 minus 1 over 24. You can do this on a calculator. You get minus 121 over 24. Obviously equals 0, yeah? If you look at the question, they want the x minus 1 over 12 squared to be alone. So they want you to move everything to the other side and keep this here alone. So take this to the other side, the 121 over 24 becomes 6x minus 1 over 12 squared equals 121 over 24. Since we took the other side, we can plus. Okay, now the 6, we have to divide by 6 on both sides. So divide by 6, do it on a calculator, 121 over 24, divide by 6, you get, I'm going to move this up, you get x minus 1 over 12 squared on the left equals 121 over 144. Okay, I think, hey, yeah, this, like this, everything fits. Does it fit? Like this, yeah. So this is your fully factored form. After this, you can't really do much unless you want to solve. But this is how they ask for it in the question. X minus something squared equals b. Forget about the plus. The plus doesn't matter. What matters is the numbers. Equals b. They're asking for what is the value of b. And it's 121 over 144. I'd see why you'd find this question hard because the numbers are quite tricky to work with. يعني شوي صعبين صراحة. بس after you look at it a few times, you get it. The calculator makes things easier. Don't try solving these numbers in your head. You're just gonna get mixed up. Do most of it on a calculator. Okay, now they're saying what is the roots. So you actually have to solve it now, yeah? So you have to take square root of both sides. So it will be x minus 1 over 12 equals plus minus radical 121 over 144. طب you're gonna get mixed up. You're gonna be like, oh, what's the radical of a fraction? What's this? What's this? It's you can put it on a calculator, or يعني, you take the radical of 121 and 144, which is 11 over 12. You can do this on a calculator. So x minus 1 over 12 equals positive 11 over 12. And then also we have the negative 1. I'm going to put it on the left because I don't have space. Equals negative 11 over 12. Take this to the other side. It becomes, I'll write here on the left, x minus 1 over 12 equals, sorry, no, x equals negative 11 over 12 plus 1 over 12, which is negative 10 over 12. That's your first solution. And then your second solution here is take negative 1 over 12 to the right. It becomes x equals 11 over 12 plus 1 over 12, which is obviously 12 over 12, which is 1. So your two solutions are negative 10 over 12 and 1. Okay, they want the larger one, so obviously the answer is going to be 1 because 1 is bigger than negative 10 over 12. Yeah, I think that's it. خلاص, yeah, that's it. Yeah, thank you for the support on the first video صراحة. You guys surprised me until now. Refreshes. It's, yeah, 1022 views. Last 40, yeah, 1022 views in like 5 hours. That's kind of, يعني, that's a lot. Thank you, I guess. Thank you, yeah. I'll try doing recordings for chemistry and physics too. But يعني I can't make any promises yet. But I'll try. Because يعني they're easy. The recordings for those won't take any more than 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Thank you for watching. And I'll post the 2.4 recording now. They're gonna be separate because I recorded 2.4 separately. This was in finals. Thank you. Yeah.